Hello. How anyone, anywhere can get valuable work experience in cybersecurity or data privacy on their CV now with no previous work experience. Simplifying the catch-22 problem of not getting a job without experience but needing experience to get a job. This is from the free 5-day challenge, how to get a job in cybersecurity and data privacy, with the link below. So let's get started. Quick intro to myself. My name is Tux. I'm a coach, cybersecurity, data privacy specialist. And, this is a quick intro into me. But today I don't want to talk about myself. I want to talk about how you can get a job, work experience, without having had any before. Okay? So we need to start from here. Typically, we fall into one of these three boxes. You're either a young adult, you're in your midlife, or you're a mature adult, right? And typically, when you're young, you've got time, you've got energy, but you very rarely have enough money. Okay? In midlife, you tend to have energy, you've got money, but you very rarely have time. Okay? As a mature adult, you've got money, you've got loads of time, but you simply have run out of energy. Okay? So and that's typically a fact of life. Now, some people may straddle that, they might be different, but broadly, this is what we look at. Okay? First, understand that. Accept where you are and realize that you're going to have to trade what you have for what you want. Okay? So think of where you are, think of what you have, and think of what you can trade. Okay? That's the basis. First, understand and accept that. Getting work experience is possible. Many have done it. I have done it myself, but you need to have this kind of mindset. Okay? So that's the first thing. But let's move on. So I've got 4 options here, and I'll talk through them briefly. So as a student, I think with a student, let me share my story. I studied computing in London, UK, but I had always known I wanted to be a consultant. Okay. So for my final year dissertation, I approached my supervisor and said, look, I really want to be a real world consultant and I'd like to get some real life experience. So he said, well, look, if you can get a company that can let you do some consulting work for them, you can definitely do your final year project as a consultant. So I went out, and luckily for me, then I had a friend, I think he was out of Iran, Darius, and I mentioned it to him, and he said, "Oh, whoa, you know what? My uncle actually has a pizza shop. Let's see if you can go talk to him, and you can help them." So we went along there, and I spoke to the uncle, and he had this small pizza shop at the time. I think they had about 4 outlets, and they needed some help. They didn't have a good stock control system. They didn't have a good cash management system. So I did my final year project for that pizza chain. And I built a stock management and a cash management type system for them. That was my final year project. And that was how, when I got my degree, I also graduated as having been a consultant for a real life business. That was my experience. By the way, the pizza company still exists today for any of you out there who are in London. The company is called Pizza Go-Go, and they have gone now from having those 4 branches to having, I don't know, probably hundreds. I think they've grown to like a huge multi-million-dollar chain. But that was my final year project, okay? But forget about me for a minute. As a student, you have options, okay? So you can do what I did. You can look for how you can link your project into a real life experience in cyber, in data privacy. You can do an internship where you do this with a company. You can choose the work experience option, or you can get a vacation job. Okay, so if you're a student, these options are open to you. You just have to be intentional about including it in what you want to do with your course. So paying for a degree, for instance, in cybersecurity, paying for a master's program, I would suggest you look for programs that would allow you to do this. Okay, so that's the first one as a student. Volunteering your time. This is very popular with charities and startups. Now, I have an experience with this as well. This is actually interesting. And I'll share my story first. So when I finished my master, so when I did my degree, I went on to do a master's program. And then I traveled abroad for a while. I think I went traveling to the States. So, but a year, 2 years later, when I came back, all my friends were now working. and I wanted to get back into work. So I went to meet my old friends, and then one of them, a great guy called Ravi, he said to me, "Hey, Tux, we know this local guy. He's a consultant. He always has work, but he won't pay you, right? But he will definitely give you some work to do." So I went along to the guy, and he gave me this project. It was like a husband and wife team, very small, and they were built. I think the husband was a builder, the wife was a secretarial type thing, and the guy had started bringing people into the site he was working at. So he kind of had set up like a recruitment company to recruit other builders in, and the thing exploded. The project was good, so they were very good at the business side. They were busy, had a load of people working for him, but their accounts were in a mess. So with them, I think I had to put in like an accounting package. But this is the interesting thing. Now, when I finished their project, I had to do a report for my boss, for the consultant guy who owned the company. Remember, I wasn't being paid a dime, but I wasn't doing anything either, and I was young, so I had the time, okay? So I had prepared his report, and I was going to like send it off to him and say, look, this was it, we put in the system, blah, blah, blah. But by that time, I actually had an interview, right? So when I showed up at the interview, the guy said, "What do you do?" I said, "Oh, I'm a consultant, but actually I'm just coming from my client site now." He said, "Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that. What do you do?" So I showed him my report. I said, "Hey, you know what? This is the report I just wrote for them. We just put in like a system." And he was very impressed. He said, "Oh, could I keep this report?" I said, "No, you cannot. Client confidentiality, no, 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 no." So he said, "Oh, no, that's okay." And then when I was going out, and then I thought to myself, "Hey, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean not to give it to you, but I need to get clearance from the client first." He said, "Okay, no, not a problem." So I spoke to the consultant guy, who was my boss, who wasn't paying me, and he said, "Oh yeah, you can share it if you want, blah blah blah." So I called the guy back, sent him a copy of that report, and that got me an interview with the CEO. That was how I got my first job, with my mentor, Christian, who is still one of my mentors till today. Okay, so you can volunteer your time. The charity strategy is something you should consider strongly, because all charities rather, take volunteers. Many startups are strapped for cash. So if you have a skill that they can use and you don't have money, they may be able to offer you something. Some may even offer you maybe some equity. That's very rare, but charities definitely will take you on as a volunteer. There's ways to go around doing that, but it's definitely an option you should consider. Okay. Another one you can do is set up shop. If you have a skill, you know how to do something, well, look for companies who are looking for that service and offer your services to them. If you know how to do penetration testing, offer to do penetration testing for your local shops. If you know how to do some kind of compliance stuff with data privacy, offer to do that, right? What I have found is the word free is powerful, okay? Everyone wants something for nothing. No one gets anything for nothing. There is always a trade. So in this case, they may get your time for free, but you are also getting valuable experience back. So consider that, right? Approach companies local to you, and tell them what you can do and see if they can give you that opportunity. Okay. The final option, which is increasingly popular now, is where you attend a bootcamp program. So there are many training programs now. There are many bootcamp programs. Some would offer you certification as part of it, so you probably would do an exam. Some would offer you coaching as part of it, so you get some coaching. Some would say, "Oh, you can do coaching, plus I'll put you on a real life project, and you will actually work on that project and get references and get a reference if you get employment." So these are four that I want you to just think about and see which one of these could work for you. I will close by saying this. Look, you're either going to sacrifice to play, which means you sacrifice your time and energy, right, to do something for free, or you are going to pay to play, which means you pay to go on a certain program, and as part of that program, you get work experience. Those are the two things you really need to come to terms with. That's how it works. But these are four options here. I wish you good luck. Go see which one of them you can make work for you. Thank you very much. This is Tux signing out. Bye.